We're potting.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. First beer on the Happy Hour.
Really?
No one's had a beer on the Happy Hour yet.
It's the Happy Hour.
It's the Happy Hour.
Sorry, I forgot to. I have to use this like a mic.
Also, first time I've ever used these glasses.
Really?
So a lot of first going on right now.
You don't do that much drinking.
Oh, I'm actually getting off a hangover from yesterday.
Really?
Went out. Yeah. I'm trying not to drink that much.
Yeah, not the right. I wouldn't say it's not the right climate for those kinds of moves, or maybe it is. It depends. That's just what I'm saying.
Are you going like the weather climate?
No,
like
I'm
humidity?
just saying that it's the sluttiest summer on record, and you don't want to be the sober. I think it's honestly like if you're out trying to pick up like girls sober, like you should go to jail.
You should go to jail.
Yeah, like the girls are drunk and you're sober. You're just like sipping soda waters at the bar, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
it's creepy.
Who's going? I hate people that go to the bar sober and stay sober, especially at those type of bars.
Yeah,
off the wagon.
It's creepy.
Three sheets.
Yeah,
3 sheets. Yeah, I was gonna say 3
yeah. I
sheets
mean,
to the wind.
if you're going to off the wagon and you're not
annihilated,
like a junior, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you're not like you get 1 year after college to go to off the wagon. Or no. I'm thinking of
you might be right.
13th Step.
All the same owner.
Of course, just like brutal names.
Brutal name. I went to Stumble In last night. Same owner.
Brutal.
Worst place in America. A beer was $4 though.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
Off the Wagon's the one on McDougal, right?
You have Off the Wagon on McDougal.
That one's brutal. That one's for like older, just like, I don't know who goes there.
It's a very odd clientele.
Really
I did
odd.
a New Year's
that
there
whole
once.
Street is one of the most bizarre, because it doesn't seem like touristy. I mean, it is touristy because you got the Comedy Cellar, but then you just have kind of like these weathered men, like weathered like construction, like white guy. They are like, are you finance or construction? And you should be. Usually, you're able to tell.
Right. It's very easy to tell. Not on McDougal.
Not on McDougal. And it's like, okay, he's in finance, but he's like bleeding a little bit and he's smoking a blunt. It's like
I was going to say, there's a stain somewhere.
Yeah. He's got a slight head wound. I don't know if he knows about it, honestly. Nobody's told him. He's been there for 6 hours.
He just keeps buying beers.
Slightly.
And it's all European tourists. It's like European tourists being sold Coke by Puerto Ricans.
What they think is Coke.
Yeah, what is being advertised.
100% not Coke.
Also, they're very blatant with that it's Coke. They're like, oh, you need Coke? Like, I think you should be a little subtle.
I don't know. That's been the game. I mean, if you buy from somebody who's doing the Coke Malawi,
yeah.
you know, it's like you deserve to overdose on fentanyl because like,
right.
Like how could you be so stupid? Like you think that you're going to get anything, at least weed, you can like look at it and it's like, okay, it's probably not oregano. You know, if you're just getting a pout, like you're paying like $20 for like a little bit of powder from this dude on McDougal. Like,
it's not good. It's not a good idea.
Like, McDougal just like radiates scam. It's a street of scams. Oh,
right. It's old New York. It's one of the last old New York streets.
Yeah.
It's kind of like India.
It is 100% like India. Have you been to India?
No, but we could get into this. I watch Bald and Bankrupt on YouTube.
Yo,
Do you know that guy?
I've been to India. I've got some stories.
You've been to India?
I've got some stories about India.
Did you all go on a train in India?
Yes.
Yeah, you look like a guy that went on a train in India.
It was one of the biggest. Okay, I mean, like I've traveled a lot. Like I haven't been to like Asia, like China, you know, like Asia, but I've been to India, been to South America, Latin America, Europe, whatever. India is the most disgusting place I've ever been in my life.
Well, there's no infrastructure, if I'm correct.
It's this. You might have to cut this, but
we're keeping it in. This might be the clip. Say it.
It's the culture. It's like it's right. Them. It's not the infrastructure. Infrastructure is part of it, but I've been to places that have no infrastructure and are just
clean.
It's just dirt. It's just like the culture of hygiene is crazy there. And I went like as a junior in college, and my buddy's like parents like flew me out there because he needed like a friend on his travels. They were like worried about him.
What the fuck did you go to school?
rightly so. We went to different schools, but he was from a friend from high school.
Brooklyn douche.
He's from Soho, but douche.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And and like because how they worship cows there. I mean that's real.
They just let them go,
but they let them go. So the cows like are rats, but they're enormous.
But they're cows.
But they're fucking huge. And you can't fuck with them because they're sacred, but they also like aren't taking care of them, and so they just go around and just eat garbage, and so they're all sick, and so you have these like sick cows walking around just like shitting bile.
And this is what city? Delhi?
This was in Delhi. This is in Delhi, but it's the same in Varanasi. It's the same everywhere. Varanasi, it's the city of the dead. I went there too, and it's like
is Halloween there all the time? What are they doing?
Pretty much. There's like, I mean, people are just like. The poor people there just burn plastic like all the time, like to keep warm. Like they don't know that doesn't burn good. Maybe they do. I don't know. But they're just like in the streets, like burning plastic. So you're just walking down the streets, just like this pungent, like burning plastic smell, like everywhere. And you've got the cows that are just shitting green goo just on the street at all times. And in Varanasi, because it's this holy city, it's on the Ganges River, and they burn bodies. It's like the Hindu thing. You burn the bodies, right? But
I didn't know that.
If you're not rich enough to buy, because wood is expensive. So if you're not rich enough to buy like a shit ton of wood, you're still going to get thrown into the Ganges, but your body's not going to be totally done yet. And so you've got all these like half-baked corpses just floating around this river where everybody gets their water. It's where it's like people are bathing in it. Like, deadass, you see people like washing themselves in this river, and you can see dead bodies floating offshore. Like, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It is crazy.
Why did you go? Wait, why did he go?
He wanted to like discover himself. He was like,
what a fucking idiot,
dude!
That's where you discover yourself.
It just like, and so we took trains everywhere because we were on this like crazy budget, and the trains cost nothing.
A kid from Soho's on a crazy budget?
It was fucked up. I was on a crazy budget.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
So he was like, yeah, we'll just do it your way or whatever. And then after the trip, he was like, yeah, my dad was like pissed that we didn't ask him for more money. I was like, I can't ask your dad for more money.
Right. You're the middleman. You're the third party.
You ask your dad for the money. And so we would take like these, first of all, trains in India aren't they're the worst. They don't run. So
you sit on the top, right?
If you don't want to pay, you sit on the top. But we got
what?
we got third class, so we were like we had a bed and everything. I mean, but you get to the station and nobody knows when the train says it's coming at 6, and then they're like it's delayed an hour.
Okay.
And so then they're like, okay, so it's 7 now, and we're in this place. We could be walking around, seeing shit.
Right.
But we're waiting for this train. Because who knows when the next train is coming. And so
it's kind of like New York.
We waited on average 9 hours for every train that we took.
What?
The trains just weren't, because there was fog. It was they're
burning the plastic.
They're burning a lot. A lot's burning.
It's not water vapor. That's very clear.
I know. Yeah. And the trains just have these open air it's just holes in the tracks.
I'm shocked they even have that.
That's what the toilet is. It's just a hole. So it goes straight down onto the tracks.
Right.
So that means that every time the train stops, the entire train just smells like human shit. Just because you're sitting on this train over human feces.
Right. How often do they have to go that bad where they got to shit immediately?
They love shitting. They love it. They do it in public all the time. I'm serious.
So it's literally a hole in the train car.
Yeah.
No walls surrounding it or anything.
It's a room that has 3 holes in the ground, and you squat. They love to squat. They don't like sitting on things. They love to squat. They have very flexible hips in India.
Asians have fantastic
amazing hips.
They're the opposite of German shepherds.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. Yes. My Western powerlifting thighs couldn't.
You played soccer.
I played soccer. I can't bend like that.
Can't do
so
that.
I'm just, And you want to be, you don't want to be like the guy who's like, oh, but it's a hole, and so you gotta
So
drop
you had
trowel. You gotta.
You shit on the train?
Yeah.
What?
Where am I gonna sit? Where am I gonna shit?
How long is the train ride?
It was like 16 hours.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How?
They take
Do you have a
forever,
room?
and they don't tell you that it's gonna take. They're like, oh yeah, it's 8 hours, but they just stop, and then you don't know because you don't speak the language, and they just go, they do like the head nod, and they're just like laughing at you because you're so like, they're like, oh, you idiot, you thought that this was gonna be what you
This is
bought?
India, you dumb fuck.
Literally, it's crazy, and because like white people there are like, they know that we have more money than they could ever possibly imagine. Generally, like you just get like people just come up and just like fucking touch you, and take pictures with you, and
Are white people that rare?
I don't know.
They were there for a while.
They were there.
They were there.
I mean, I don't know.
Columbus didn't make it, but
He didn't make it.
He tried.
Some other guys did though. Yeah. He and okay.
You
This
go.
is my last thing about India that I'll say.
Go. Keep going.
This is my last. This is.
I had no idea you did any of this.
Is that the. I don't want to like disparage the Indian people because I met a lot of really good Indian people, and some of them are great, like super generous people. The scams are just
Next
it's
level.
unbelievable. Like you would go up and ask somebody on the street for directions. Like I'm picking out this person.
Right.
And I want directions to this place. That's like a notable place. And he's like, yeah, of course, follows me. And I swear to God, this happened like 4 or 5 times. You stop a guy in the street, ask him for directions, and he takes you to his uncle's shop. It's just what?
They're always scamming. They're always going. Everything's a business opportunity.
Yeah.
It's always a shop with nothing, it seems like.
It's just the bullshit.
Yeah, it's just tchotchkes.
And he's just like, come on, just buy one thing.
I'll tell you where the
I'll
fucking...
tell you where And it's just like, I understand if like he was coming up to me and was like, you got to come see this shop.
Right.
Is
Is that how they talk there? You got to fucking... Bro, you got to check out this fucking shop.
Dude. Like, my uncle's got a fucking sick shop.
You won't believe it.
You wouldn't believe the, like, little bullshit elephant, crystal elephant that he has.
And women's clothing, even though we hate women. They sell a lot of women's clothing.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of fucking women.
There's a lot of women there. Yeah. A lot of women. A lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
City not planned well.
I mean... I don't know what. Yeah, it was crazy. It was okay. So that's I don't know how we got onto that, but that's my India. I'm not going back. I'm not going back for a while. I'm not going back until I'm like balling out of control and I'm just like 5 stars everywhere, flying everywhere.
But is that expensive? Is 5-star hotels in India expensive?
Not, but for me, like as a fucking child, essentially.
Oh, right. Like in college, right?
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't. And in Latin America, I did that. That's what I did. Like I hitchhiked and I like
hostels.
And I did hostels and okay, one more India story.
Okay, tell the story.
Okay,
back.
Last India story is so we're in Calcutta. We're really roughing it. Like we stay at probably the cheapest hotel in Calcutta, which if you can imagine, so we get to the room and the room is like covered in graffiti and there's just 2 boards for beds.
Okay.
Like a fucking 2 what's it called? Plywood, like just plywood planks,
right,
for beds. Great for your back.
I would imagine
we had to pay extra for no cushion at all. Yeah, we're just like, actually we'll just take the boards if you got. And then
to them they're like, it's not the floor.
Yeah, exactly. It's elevated.
Yeah.
So we we put down our sleeping bags on the boards and go out for the night, and it's like one of the first big cities that we've been to in a minute, and we're like. We find this nightclub, and
an Indian nightclub.
Yeah, and
oh boy, the cows are in the club.
No women.
Really?
Yeah, at the club, no women, just like rich-looking dudes, and the bartender demands to make us Long Island iced teas because we're from New York.
Oh, India's fucking sick. Who knew India was down?
And like I haven't had a beer because it's hard to get. Like they don't drink that much, you know. It's
Right.
They
Well,
don't
they have
really
a dry
party.
state there, right?
I don't even really know what's good with alcohol over there, but like it's not, the drinking culture just isn't the same. Like there isn't like a real nightclub culture there. There isn't like some parts like Goa, which is in the south. The south is sick. The north is like different. And oh no, I've got one more after. I've got one more.
No,
India
keep
story after
going.
this too. Okay, I honestly feel like this is therapy. Like I've been holding these stories in just like.
I thought you were going to come in here. I was going to make a fucking joke about you being from Brooklyn and fucking Will Cox statue.
Yeah.
That's what I thought we were doing. I had no idea you had Indian stories.
Dude, I got, and so we go out and I black out super hard.
In India?
Yeah.
Did the women ever come?
I don't know. I black in throwing up out of some guy's Mercedes. I don't know what happened. I don't know
Mercedes, though?
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
He drops us back off at the hostel. And I go upstairs to our slabs, and I get into my sleeping bag, and there's something alive in my sleeping bag. There's something in there.
Yes.
So I'm like, yo, there's something in my fucking bag, dude. And I'm like wasted.
Oh, I would freak the fuck out.
And I just touched something, like my bag just moved when I put something touched me. You know what I mean?
Do you know what it was?
And so my boy like has, I can't remember if it was his like backpack. He's something heavy, and we're like prepared to smash the shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
And so I like empty my sleeping bag out onto the slab, and he's like, and it's 4 kittens. that had snuggled up in my sleeping bag, and we almost murdered them. But that was heartwarming in the end, right? It could have been a lot worse.
Isn't it crazy that if it was 4 baby rats, it still would have been dead?
Definitely dead.
They still had the same diseases. The cats and the rats,
Definitely.
same diseases, but the cat's cuter.
Yes.
They get away with it.
100%.
Where's the mama cat?
The mama cat probably put them in there.
You think?
Yeah, she was like, this is the warmest, coziest spot I've ever
these
seen.
These kids aren't coming back. They're at the club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she told them, she's like, get them some Long Islands. And
and the mama cat paid off the bartender.
my kids need a break, you know? Yeah, and okay, last story is, so we go down to the south. The south rules. It's like the streets are paved. It's like a different country.
So the wealth is in the south in India, I guess.
Yes, and it's like north and south Italy kind of, but reversed, right? We're like, or the United States in a way, where it's like
right.
competent government, like the taxes are like doing stuff there, like there's no potholes,
right,
and stuff. And so we get these Vespas. We're in a place called Kerala. Awesome, like
sounds nice.
So awesome. Like go swim in the ocean every day, like so sick. And so I get this Vespa, and Indian drivers, insane. I mean, you've seen what they've done to our Ubers.
Right. It's just like Asian drivers in general. They have no fear.
It's okay. I will say it's just like, I think, who was it, Mulaney, that like made it? It was like either Fast and the Furious or like, it's like Tokyo Drift or just like the worst in the world. It's just bizarre. It's like, they'll just do bizarre things. It's like every race has like different bad behaviors, and Asians, it's just kind of like inexplicable. Like what? It's just like surreal. Sometimes they're driving,
right?
It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Like you're just like puzzled.
Well, I think, in my opinion,
just like the choice.
They're like the greatest athletes in the world. An Asian Uber driver might be the greatest athlete on the planet. The reaction, the reflexes are and that's why they're all Asian. So they're all able to do these quick, like,
I would say that their reflexes don't seem that great.
Well, no one gets hurt.
I have a story that will counter this narrative. But
how many stories do you have, Eliot? I didn't know you had any stories.
But first, so I'm driving my Vespa in Kerala, and I'm driving, and there's a bus coming in my, like, passing in around a turn. It's passing the car.
So it's a bend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in my lane. it's passing a car in its lane, so it's in my lane passing him.
Understand.
Right.
Understand.
And so this happens all the time. So you get over to the side.
Makes sense.
And so I get over to the side, and behind him, like on right in front of me, is a motorcycle with like a entire family trying to pass the bus that's passing the car.
A family on motorcycles?
Yeah, they pack them on. It's crazy. It's on. I've
seen the chickens
it's
and like the
unbelievable.
cages and stuff.
Unbelievable.
How many people on a motorcycle?
It's human
have you
Tetris.
seen?
It's human Tetris, but on wheels.
That's fucking insane.
It's cool.
All wearing helmets, I assume.
Oh yeah. No. I'm like, you're all gonna die, and so I bail off the road.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I'm gonna get smoked. This is like, their motorcycles are heavy, and I don't want to kill a whole family. Bad luck.
A couple people, fine.
Yeah.
A whole family.
A whole family's, you know.
That's a lot on your
That's
shoulders.
a lot. And so I bail, eat shit. I'm wearing flip flops. I'm like, I just tear the skin off of all of my hands and feet. I'm just bleeding profusely.
Okay.
I get back to the hotel. I drop the Vespa. The guys are super fucking pissed at the place that I rented the Vespa from. I'm like, dude, sorry, bro. I give them like $100.
Fucking India, man.
Yeah. And I'm like, sorry. They like wanted to take my passport when I rented it, and I was like, no. And they're like, okay. And I was like,
how many times do people go, okay, yeah, sure?
They just like, I was like, no, I'll go somewhere else. And they're like, all right. And so whatever, brought it back, gave them $100, and I'm just bleeding so much.
A lot.
From every, like my whole palm just pretty much got just like ripped off my body. You know what I mean?
You don't want to go to an Indian hospital.
Well, I get on the plane
go.
and I am like, I need to go to a hospital. I need to like get something.
You were on the plane?
I had to fly back to Delhi the next day so I could fly back to the city to America. And so
okay. And
so I go to Delhi. I go back to Delhi, and I go to an Indian hospital, and it was fucking crazy. I'm in this hospital, and people in the waiting room, people are just getting operated on.
In the waiting room?
Yeah. There's a woman in the waiting room with just like an older woman with just like a massive wound in her head, and like she's just got some dude. I don't even know if he was a doctor. He was just,
he was there.
He was working.
He showed up.
He wasn't really wearing the clothes, but he was definitely working on her head. And somebody just comes up to me, and I'm just like, I'm bleeding out of my hands and feet. Like I'm clearly, you know.
Right.
This is also like 9. I'm still bleeding. It's like a lot of blood. And
you were still bleeding.
Yeah.
You took a flight.
Yeah.
They let you get on the plane?
Yeah, everybody was bleeding. It was fine. It was like, oh, you're bleeding. Okay, people were bleeding on the left. You know.
Oh, they segregated. That's how they segregate there.
Yeah. and somebody just comes up and just stabs me with a needle. Like I assume tetanus. There was no communication. I just get stabbed with a needle, and then
you just walk in.
What's
the time? What happened from walk in to needle?
I'm sitting for 15 minutes. A guy, doctor, I don't know if it was a doctor, nurse, whatever, comes up, just jabs me, takes one look at me, jabs me with what I assume is tetanus something.
Right.
I don't know. There was literally no words exchanged.
You would assume everyone in India is a doctor. That's right. They don't have to wear the clothes. Like, no, all of us are doctors.
It's true. It's true.
Everywhere's a hospital. Also, this is also I was gonna say a 7-Eleven and a software engineer.
Yeah. Everybody's an MD, and you know that's why they're so healthy over there. But and then I get and like there's just like. I finally like get into an examination room. They're apparently gonna like cover my wounds or whatever, and there's just like pools of fucking blood like in the hall. They're just like blood everywhere.
Pools of blood?
Yeah. It was so crazy, dude. It was.
And then on the news, they're like, "How is India getting hit hard with COVID? What's going on there?" And you're like, "They got pools of blood,
the blood
in the waiting
everywhere.
room."
It's just. It's like I don't know what it was. It was really surreal, and of course like the guy who puts on my bandages, I'm like looking at the bandages, I'm like, this is just gonna mold with my scab, and when I have to change the bandage, the scab's coming right off. It's gonna be the same thing. I mean I was 100% right, and And anyway, that was, and then I flew home just
Bandaged up.
Yeah. And
did anyone say anything to you, like on these flights? Like, hey, man,
yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
my life.
Yeah. I was like, I'd watch out for the bus motorcycle combos. It's pretty hard.
Or everyone's just in a sling and they're like, Vespa, 3 people on one bike. Yeah.
But bus motorcycle combo, it got me too. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But you know, that's that was
and
India.
that's India.
That was India. Yeah.
How long were you there for?
Like a month.
A month.
Yeah, it was a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Could have been. I would have been happy with like 2 days, maybe. Could have done it in 2 days.
That sounds miserable.
It was like formative, obviously, but it wasn't fun. It was like never, because you're also like you're drinking bad water, like you're just sick, like you're just shitting water all the time, like
right, the whole time. Well, I assume you can't drink their water, right?
Right, but it doesn't matter. Like you can't eat any vegetables because like the vegetables, you're like, are they cleaned? You know,
and they're all vegetarian.
And they're vegetarian, which makes that that's you know, and
fuck.
And so you're just like feeling like shit. You're not sleeping because you're on boards with rats and kittens, and you know you spend all day in a train station waiting for a train that was supposed to come at 6 a.m. It comes at 8 p.m. And
what happened to the kittens?
I'm sure the kittens are doing great, dude. It's just like,
well, what did you do with them?
Oh, I was like, I let them hang if they wanted to, but their mom had plans. There was a plan B, I guess.
Oh, so they just skedaddled?
Yeah, they skedaddled.
Out of the window?
No, they lived at the hostel or whatever.
Oh!
Or I don't know. They were there. I assume they lived there.
I don't know. It's fucking Indian cats. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it was very cheap. I think they could have afforded it. It was,
you think so?
Yeah. It was like...
Well, they usually sell trinkets on the street.
It was literally like $250 a night, you know? It was like really cheap. But
well, that's like 250, 300 rupees?
Yeah, I don't know. It was crazy.
Do the conversion there?
Yeah. But yeah, what's the craziest Uber ride you've ever had? Have you had any
Uber ride
crazy,
I've ever had?
Like Uber rides?
Nothing that like stands out to me. Like there's obviously crazy drivers.
Yeah.
But nothing where you're like, this is insane. But it's also New York. Like I assume if someone came here who didn't grow up here, they'd be like, this is crazy. And you're like, yeah. I mean, it's a little crazy. I also don't want to brag, but I got 5 stars on Lyft.
Really?
So I usually get pretty good guys.
You think that you get good guys? You think that you get
at least they're
guys?
Clean cars.
Okay.
That's what I go by. The cleanliness of the car. Because I also have a 3-star on Uber.
Really? What happened on... See, you must have had a bad ride.
So it was 2 times my same friend. He threw up in 2 separate Ubers.
Okay.
And...
You were paying for the Uber.
I was paying for the Uber. So I got the bad review.
And the $300 charge.
No. I never got a charge.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. But he did it.
Yeah, he would have had to pay you. Would he have paid you?
He would have paid.
Okay.
He was good with that.
Okay.
But yeah, same kid twice threw up in the car. And it's like, so now I had to download Lyft.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if you use this. Via? You know
I've used Via.
That's crazy.
Why?
It's legitimately a bus.
Oh, yeah.
You're just hailing a bus.
Yeah.
There's 17 people in a Mercedes what they pick up like wood with.
Yeah. There's no regulation.
There's no regulation. And there should be.
100%. I mean, yellow cabs, for one thing, Lyfts are now $1 million. They're so expensive.
They now cost $1 million.
And so I'm back in my black car shit, dude. I call up Northside. I call my local black car guys. $10 anywhere in my neighborhood. You know, it's like fucking cheap as shit.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah. Call your black car guys, dude. They're
what,
the
around. 7?
Yeah, call 777, you know. But like find one around here and dude, you'll save $1 million and you'll roll in style. They still got the big ass Lincolns.
The Lincolns.
I love those cars, dude. Those are some of my favorite cars.
Do they have an app? I think they do.
Yeah, my Northside in Williamsburg has an app.
Well,
this
they
is a
come to
plug. This is a
Manhattan?
plug for Northside. Northside.
Shout out Northside.
Shout out to Northside.
And we're not going to advertise these beers. No free advertising. We don't do free advertising here.
But I've had one of the craziest experiences of my life happened 2 years ago in an Uber. So this was when I was really on my broke shit, and my phone didn't work. So my phone only worked in Wi-Fi, and so you know when your phone only works in Wi-Fi, like it only like the cellular shit was fucked, and so it
what
could
was
only
the provider?
work.
Cricket?
Sprint.
You weren't doing that bad.
Sprint.
Is Sprint worse than Cricket?
Sprint. Yeah, it's one step above Boost Mobile.
Right.
Actually, Boost Mobile I think got bought by somebody good, and I think that's better now.
Oh.
But so I don't even know. But it was bad. It was.
That's how not well you're doing in life, where you know the M&A activity of the cheap wireless carriers.
Yeah.
Like, no, Boost is with T-Mobile now, and it's actually pretty good reception.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, I hope this merger goes through. I might be able to call my mom from my apartment, you know, otherwise. But so, yeah, it could only work with Wi-Fi. So I was talking to this girl, and it was like 1 a.m., and I was living in Crown Heights, and she lives in Midtown. And
was this a doctor? Were you dating a doctor for a time?
No, I never dated a doctor.
For some reason, I thought you were dating a doctor at one point.
I've dated many
You've
people.
dated a lot of people.
I've dated a lot of
A
people.
big-titted blonde?
Yes,
That
multiple.
was the most notable.
Yeah. She was very notable. Huge cans.
Oh, gigantic.
Yeah.
Well, that's also how you introduced her to us. You didn't give her name. Usually people go, oh, this is Cindy.
You're not gonna remember her name.
I definitely wasn't going to remember her name.
You remember enormous.
Huge.
Very comfortable, just soft and
A Gary Goldman
gentle.
fan.
Yes.
There you go.
Hey, she was, package. But this was not. I wasn't visiting. So I get this booty call, and I'm like, I'm coming. I'm getting in the lift now, but I'm not going to be able to contact you until I get to your apartment. So just wait up. I'm on my way. It says it's going to be 35 minutes.
Okay.
And so I get in the cab. It's this fresh off the boat Asian dude, doesn't speak any English, and whatever, no problem. Ideal, honestly.
Yeah.
So we're going down. We turn onto Bedford Avenue, and he does some, you know how they drive sometimes, and he clips a dude.
We talked about it already. Oh, he clipped a dude.
He clips a dude.
On a bike?
In a SUV.
Oh, okay.
And fender bender. So car stops, middle of Bedford Avenue, busy street.
Yeah. What time is this? Give me a time.
This is probably 1:15 in the morning.
And it's that busy.
It's busy, yeah.
Okay.
Bedford is like a thoroughfare. And so he clips this big fucking black dude's SUV.
Oh, boy. An Escalade, I assume?
It was like, no, it was
Or
like,
Chevy
I think
Suburban.
it was a Ford Explorer. And,
Oh, a black guy in a Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
so he gets out, and they're looking at it, and then the black guy just goes, "Why are you driving like a fucking idiot, man? Why are you driving like a fucking idiot?" And he pushes the Asian dude in the chest. And I'm just like in the car, like, I can't. My phone doesn't fucking work. And then the black dude just starts rocking my driver in the face.
No fucking
punching
way.
the shit out of him. And the Asian guy, I don't know why he's not just like dipping, but he's like holding up his hands like, "You bad man, you bad man," and the black guy's just like, "Why are you driving like a fucking idiot, man?" And is beating the shit out of my driver. And I can't do anything. My phone does not work. And he's literally the cab driver. My cab driver is like looking at me as he's getting like, blah, and he's like, "You call police! You call police!" I can't call police.
How my carrier package works? I need the Wi-Fi.
You gotta ask the people around for their password. Yell up to one of the.
I gotta go to a restaurant and buy something. Do you know any good restaurants in the area? Yeah. I also have a very specific diet that I have to follow. Do you know anything vegan or at least vegetarian that I could go to?
All the coffee shops are closed, man. I would, but And then he's like, he says like, my phone, and And I look at his phone. His phone's in fucking Chinese. I'm like, I do not know how
It's a different language.
It's like, so now I have to communicate him as he's still getting the shit kicked out that I don't speak Chinese, which like, you know? And so
you would assume you can't speak Chinese, but maybe you told him the Indian stories. I thought you were well traveled.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I just got in the car. I was like, fucking I got a bone. I know we feel similarly about this, my guy. Indians. And he's like, dude, fucking right. But
that is how a lot of Ubers drives start, where they'll start going on a certain race, and you're like, oh, wow.
I'll get to that.
Oh, wow.
So we get, so he's just leaking from his face. Bleeding.
And no police.
No police.
Amazing.
No police. And so black guy gets back in his car, takes off. He runs back to our car, and we take off after him. Not only do we take off after him, but 4 other Uber drivers saw the altercation and were all following this.
So
dude.
the Uber drivers have some sort of
There
brothering association.
Yes. 100%.
Or maybe they're just all siblings.
No, I mean, realize later, multiracial coalition of vigilantes.
You had a Chinese, you had a Russian, you had an Indian, you had a...
we are just blowing through reds.
Whoa, there's no rules.
and I'm like, yo, I do not want to die. Like, I'm telling this guy, like, yo, I do not want to die. He gets his phone, he calls 911, he puts me on the phone with 911 because he can't speak English. And you're
just watching your departure time delay.
I'm like, I have no ability
to rerouting on that.
I have no ability to communicate with this chick that I'm supposed to be.
Well, you had his phone.
I can't dial the phone.
It's in Chinese.
I don't have no idea how to get to the phone. Also, I'm not going to hang up on 911 and call. I'm actually, bro, I'm sorry. I got to just make a quick,
Right.
Just like hang up on 911. Like I put 911 on hold as I call this chick.
Right.
So, but I'm on call with 911 and they're like, you've got to tell him to pull over. Like the cops cannot find you if you're just chasing this guy through Brooklyn. And we're blowing through, and it's us and like 4 cars behind us. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking die in this car. And so the dude does some fucking crazy shit through an intersection, like dovetails, and we all lose him.
The SUV.
Cops show up 2 seconds later. And so I have to give a fucking statement. And then I'm talking to one of the other Uber drivers, and I'm like, yo, can you take me to Midtown? And he takes me to Midtown. He speaks English. He's like this like Arab dude. And then I have one of the most racist conversations I've ever had.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, so wow. So this is the 2 things I brought up in the same story.
Crazy. Exactly. And so we're on FDR Drive, and he's just like, dude, man, those people, they're animals.
That's how it starts. It's very generic at first.
Yeah. And I'm like, what people? He's like, black people.
Oh, boy. Then you just stretched out. You're like...
it's complicated. There's a lot of systemic. And he's just like, no, they're animals. I hate them.
Like, wow.
Thanks so much for taking me to the city, man. Like,
so do I have to pay you, or does the other guy get the charge?
I mean, yeah, I paid him $40, and Uber gave me a $25 credit on a ride.
That's nice.
After almost killing like that, I was like,
well, that's not on them.
Yeah, but I'm using their service.
Yeah, but they don't own the car, Like, they don't... their driver is a freelancer, essentially.
I know legally it's not on them.
But, yeah, I understand your perspective.
Like, if I die in this... I would have been so mad if I died in that car.
Oh, you would have been pissed.
That would have sucked so bad.
You would have lost, like, 4 spots.
Yeah.
How many years ago did this happen? 7? So, yeah, you would have lost, like 4 spots.
2 or 3, yeah, 2 or 3 spots. Yeah. 4 spots, 2 mics. No, a lot of mics. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. So that's my sorry for all the stories.
No, this is exactly. I did not think this is what I was gonna get, and I'm thrilled that this is what I'm getting. It is fantastic.
So yeah, it was just kind of like a beautiful moment where like all the races came together in animus. You know what I mean?
But against
each other.
Another race.
They all, but like the black guys hated the Asians for not being able to drive good. The Arab guys hated the black guys for like beating the shit out of people. I hated the Arab guy for 9/11. No, I'm not over that.
Right. So. You're like, those guys are animals. How about what you did to the North Tower?
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
It's like, thanks for the eye, but I didn't forget.
Listen, Building 7, 1 star.
Right. And so it was just, we all just came together. It was a real beautiful, like, this is the mixing pot. This is what New York is all about. This is what.
That's what I'm trying, and I've tried to work on a bit about this, because, like, where do you live in Brooklyn now?
Williamsburg.
Okay, so you got a lot of, like, Midwestern, like, a lot of implants there now.
Yeah, exclusively.
But you still have, like, New York, like, you have a real bodega. You have a real, right. So what I'm trying, the bit I'm tried to work on, it never worked out, was when you go into like a real bodega, like a real New York City bodega and not a touristy area, nothing has prices on it.
Yeah.
And it's because they charge you based off your race.
100%.
Right. So, and like, I was
and they let you know because they say, for you?
Yeah.
And you think it's a good price. And you think it's because it's a good price, but they're just like, no, this is your price, and it's more.
Right.
for you.
I tried explaining this to someone from New Hampshire, and they were like, why would someone charge based off the color of someone's skin? And I was like,
because they're smart.
I was like, no, because of hate. That's why. People hate people.
Yeah, but it's also just like, they look at you and they're like, yeah, these craft bar, you would pay $16 for a 6-pack of craft beer.
Right. They're carrying the craft beer for you.
Yeah. For you?
For you? My friend? For you?
$16.
I remember my dad was telling me a story. He used to do construction in Chinatown.
Yeah.
And they have like a Home Depot, like a Chinese Home Depot. No prices on anything. And my dad's friend who's Chinese, he would like get the gigs for him. He was like, oh yeah, let me explain how this goes. Cheapest is for Asians. They get the cheapest price. Whites are second. Then a Hispanic is a third.
Really?
And then he's like, blacks are like triple the price. Like, it's not even close. It is outrageous.
They hate each other.
If you go to like a Woe Hop at 3 a.m. Oh boy. If a black person walks in there, it is screaming.
Like, whites and blacks get along amazing compared to blacks and Asians.
I was reading something where the McDonald's in Western China won't allow the African. Apparently, there's a huge conglomerate of African immigrants. No blacks allowed in Western Chinese McDonald's. I'm gonna have to double check that story. I'm pretty sure that's it.
I mean, imagine and from what I've seen, black people are a huge fan of McDonald's, and so that.
Is that African? Do Africans like McDonald's?
I don't know. I've never been.
I've never been to Africa. I'm not. I had a friend that lived in Namibia for a year, and he was like, "It's pretty terrible."
Was he like a missionary?
No, he went to coach hockey.
What?
Yeah, wild. The Namibian national hockey team sponsored him to come coach, and he like lived in this house, and he's like, "Dude, in my backyard." He's like, I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie to you. There's just a zebra. Just a zebra. What? Zebras walk back and forth. Giraffes. Like, there were no fences or anything. So there was just wildlife in his backyard. It must
have taken 95% of the country's electrical output to freeze that ice in that one
roller
stadium.
Hockey.
Oh, it was roller hockey.
I should have said.
Yeah.
I should have said that. Roller hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like the goalies coach, too. Not even the head coach. He's like a position coach. No.
Huh. That could be, dude, if Africa's picked up fucking roller hockey, dude, that'd be sick.
Well, I mean, if you watch D2, the Mighty Ducks, that's how they got Keenan.
I'm never going to watch that.
You've never watched the Mighty Ducks movies?
No, and I never will.
Oh, wow.
Nope,
very good.
I'm putting my foot down.
Oh, that's where you put
taking
your
a
foot
stand.
down?
Yeah.
That you've done some crazy shit that not only am I just recently finding out about, that I've known about for a while, and you're dropping your foot on watching D2?
Is that Ducks 2?
Mighty Ducks D2. Yeah.
I thought you were about to make some point about like D2 roller hockey, like Division 2. Like,
No, Mighty Ducks, the movie.
You are so familiar with this movie that you've abbreviated it. Are you in like?
I'm not abbreviating it. That's
Dude,
what it's called.
But like all of you and your boys, you just like.
I recently had a whole conversation with Ben Kirschenbaum and Mike Bramante about doing a podcast that only talks about Mighty Ducks D2. We don't do D1 or D3, just D2.
When you guys get together, you guys can get some really bad ideas going.
Nah, dude, it was like the Beatles. I truly felt like Paul McCartney. Where I was like, "Is this it? Did we just make something?
Yeah, I mean,
Did we just change the world with this idea?"
it is amazing, just like trying to think of the podcast that would get. Because think about how many podcasts there are, and just like trying to make a podcast that will get watched the least out of any podcast. If that, you know what I mean? Like that's the
Right.
goal. And that's hard. You have to make a podcast so specific and so like that nobody would care. And not even, and people.
We'd be bigger than Rogan. You know what Rogan's never talked about? D2.
He's never talked about it. And I think that if you're going for the least watched podcast of all time, that's a great start.
It's kind of funny that this idea would do terrific on TikTok and terrible everywhere else.
You think TikTok's big into D2?
I think TikTok's big into niches.
Okay.
So I think if you find that niche, you could blow up.
Yeah.
But in a podcast, you have a niche. No one listens.
What comes up on your TikTok For You page?
Well, as of recent, Alabama sorority TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like blowing up everywhere. It's insane. It's my entire feed.
Really?
And it's like
Alabama sororities, I assume, are incredibly hot.
Yes, and it's Rush Week.
Oh.
So they're all posting. Then some rapper made a song for one of the sororities, and that's blowing. Like it's all.
Whoa.
It's the perfect storm of basicness.
Interesting. Were you in a frat?
I founded a frat.
You founded a frat?
Yeah, bro. Theta Chi.
Was it a good frat? Was it like cool?
No, that was our whole selling point.
We
weren't cool.
Right.
We were like all the degenerates from every sports team and other social club that formed a frat.
But if you had guys from sports teams, that's pretty cool. I don't really know that much about it.
Right, but we had we had a diver. No, swimmer. He was a swimmer. Black kid.
Yeah.
We had a rapper.
The Quidditch
white
team.
kid. We had Tommy Delane, who would sing Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus every party. You didn't know when it was coming, but he weighed 300 pounds, and he'd take his shirt off, and he'd just run back and forth in the room and go, "I came in like a wrecking ball, and that's fine."
You guys seem like you were really cool.
We were so uncool that it became cool.
Yeah.
You
wow,
know?
you were in the alt frat?
We were in the alt frat.
Really?
Our
Theta
president
Chi.
was Italian and Greek, but he looked Indian. Very odd. And he works for University of South Carolina now. Go Cox. Shout out CJ Galino.
CJ Galino.
CJ Galino. Looks like he started the life of Pi.
It's funny that I feel like Life of Pi, it's a weird, I didn't read the book. People did, I guess, but I know exactly. It's about the tiger on the boat, right?
Yeah. Wasn't it like a dream or something?
I have no fucking idea, but everybody knows what Life of Pi is, and I don't think that movie was even that popular. And I think the book was pop, but it's just one of these books that everybody. Oh, it's the tiger on the boat one.
Yeah, that's how I know it.
Yeah.
That actor had a good 3 years and nothing else.
Yeah.
Great 3 years.
Wait, which actor was that?
He was the guy from
Was it
Slumdog,
Dev
wasn't
Patel?
it?
Dude, he's in The Green Knight now, which I've heard is sick.
I don't even know what that is.
Just
Marvel? I'm not a superhero guy.
No, it's not. It's it's A24. Good production company.
824?
A24.
Never heard of it in my life.
You've seen their movies.
I've seen their movies. I don't like superheroes. Never did. I don't like action movies.
No, I think it's on some medieval shit.
Oh, really?
It's like a King Arthur situation.
An Indian guy in a King Arthur situation?
I don't understand. Apparently, it's good. I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
All right. Well, you sounded like you knew a lot about it. You threw it out there at me.
Speculation station. That's where I want to be. I never want to leave.
I'll tell you one thing. He's not going to India. That guy.
Dude, I mean, he got out, dude. He's
I
not
don't know where
going
I
back.
put that. Oh, it's right here.
How's your so yeah? Would you say that you've been? I've just been on like a crazy bender for pretty much. Well, I tore like my ACL, right?
Yeah, and you were way too active.
I was
Someone
really
with a torn
active.
ACL.
Yeah,
You were
And
extremely active.
but I was just like, because I wasn't working, and so I was just drinking. So I've just been drinking so much.
But
for
your
like,
ACL's fine now.
yeah, I'm walking around, dude. It was the best. Like my physical therapist is like, "You're a god," and I was like, "Yeah," because I was blacking out every night. I don't know what I did. Probably calisthenics. It seems.
Dude, I can't. I had last night. We were out for 6 hours.
Yeah, that's
I
a long
drank
time.
7 beers,
What?
and I was hungover as fuck all day. I can't do it anymore. And I had light beers.
But you just gotta.
I had
You just
ales.
gotta. You just gotta. Okay, but that's why. One is because you were drinking dark stuff. Two, you gotta stick to light beer. Light beer.
I was sticking to light beer.
Oh, you're saying
I
ale?
did an ale, like a light ale.
A light ale.
It was a light ale.
What is it? A light ale?
Compared to it wasn't a dark ale. It was
Like
it was like a 4.6%.
Like a Blue Moon? Is that an ale?
No, an ale's like a Bud Light. I mean, that's
No,
a
it's a
poor
lager.
example of an ale.
Is lager an ale?
Are lagers ales? No, lager's heavier than an ale. An ale's light. Ale, lager, stout. You're a bartender.
Yeah, I don't know what a fucking ale is, dude.
Well,
I know how
what
to
do
pour
you
one.
do then?
I know how to pour one.
It's not helping me here. What's this? What's
India
Stella?
India Pale Ale. This is a lager.
This is a lager?
Yeah. Lager is light. Lagers and pilsners are light. Ales heavier. India Pale Ale. That's an IPA.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't an IPA. Maybe it was a lager. It was the flat. What's that Staten Island brewery?
I don't know.
I don't know. Flag something?
Flaghead maybe.
Flag gay? I don't know. I went to Treadwell Park. I had 6 beers and went home. And I woke up. I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, dude, I can't party anymore."
You
washed.
seen anybody?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
Does she live here?
No, it's a whole thing. She was in Syracuse. I go there. She comes here, and it's a whole bag of hammers.
Yeah. All right.
But just got a job today down here, so we'll see.
Okay. How long have you guys been together?
2.5 years.
What?
Yeah.
She doesn't come around much, huh?
She's met everyone.
She hasn't met me.
I don't think she's met you.
Yeah.
She's met Tom. She's met Jason. She's
Okay.
met Hardy. She's met
All
the
right.
whole gang.
I like that you kept her secret though. I think that's cool. I think it's cool when guys have just like a secret girlfriend.
What were you gonna do? Parade?
Dude, some guys like take their girlfriends to like shows and mics, and I'm like,
She comes to my shows, and
she does.
and then she'll sit in the back, or she'll not even watch.
I don't want people I'm seeing coming to my shows.
I don't like people I know at my shows.
I don't like it.
I very much hate it.
I'm
like performing for you.
But yeah, exactly. And it's like, and shows are like so hit or miss, but the beauty about stand-up is that like, however you do at the show makes complete sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, if you're bombing, your material sounds retarded.
Yes.
And that same material has done really well, and when it does really well, you sound like a genius.
Yep.
And there's no real middle ground. It's like a group think that just kind of on a whim is like, actually, no, you're wrong. Like this bit that you've crafted for 6 months, wrong.
I know it's worth every time.
Yeah.
But right now,
wrong, and you listen back and be like, yeah, that bit fucking sucks, dude.
Well, the first time my girlfriend ever saw me, I did Saratoga, whatever that club is up there, and I murdered because it's a show. Like I'm on the road, I'm doing my shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm at work. She's come to like all the shows I've produced now, and
Yeah.
and it's all material I'm working on. I've ate shit every show since then. That was like 2 years ago.
But she's seen you crush.
First time she ever saw me, crushed.
Yeah.
Sucked.
That's essential.
She's come to those like Greenspan, the team comedy shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crushed.
No.
Oh, you did bad.
Oh, because I go up there, I'm free balling up there.
Really? Even if she's there, you're not throwing out some A stuff just to be like,
why?
You know?
I already got her. Oh, I'm trying to impress her?
I know, but like, imagine like having sex with somebody after you just bombed.
Oh, no, I stay up all night afterwards, and I just listen to the set over and over again. I'm like, no, you know what the problem is? I was like, it's a good fucking joke. The thing is, these people were fucking dumb, and they didn't understand what was going on.
Right. You listen to the set until she's like, oh, maybe if I just like let him fuck me, he'll shut the fuck up. Yeah.
And she's like, no, the problem with the joke is it's not funny. I'm like, no, it's a very funny joke. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Do you know who Greta Thunberg is? Huh? Let me explain it to you. Maybe it's funnier that way.
Yeah.
I remember the last team comedy show I did. There was a family of Hasidic Jews there because it was on Groupon, and I mean it was on Groupon.
It was.
And I opened up with a joke about how Hitler was a person of the year, a Time Person of the Year, as was Greta Thunberg that year.
Yeah.
And it did not go over well.
Really?
Solely because I said Hitler.
Yeah.
And then, like, afterwards, my girlfriend was like, maybe, I'm not a cop. Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? Maybe you don't open up about Hitler to a bunch of fucking Jews. And I was like, can you shut the fuck up?
But structurally,
She was like, structurally fantastic. The timing was perfect. The word economy, fantastic. But you did not read the room.
You didn't read the room. You didn't even look at the room.
No, I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. You weren't like, oh, ringlets. Maybe I should switch it up.
No, well, now my new thing is at these shows I've been producing, I go around the room and I ask where everyone's from, and then I say who your enemy is from where you're from. So like, last show, woman in the front was from Arizona. I was like, okay, your current enemy is Mexicans.
Mm.
But 3 years ago, your enemy was Martin Luther King Day. And she was like, yes.
I didn't know that they had.
Did you not know that? Arizona didn't celebrate Martin Luther King Day until about 5 years ago.
What?
Yeah, crazy.
They just were like, no?
Right. So the rest of the room was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, we did not do that. I was like, yeah, isn't that crazy? And she's
crazy.
like, it's crazy. I'm like, I respect the racism though.
I mean, it's like racist, it's very blatant. It's like couldn't be more.
Blatant.
It's like it's a what's amazing is like we don't want a day off. We'd rather work than celebrate this black martyr.
But isn't that admirable?
That's the most racist thing I can think of in my life. Where they're like, fuck a day of leisure. Like I'd rather work to be like fuck black. You know what I mean?
But I respect it. I don't agree. But if you're going to be racist, at least work.
Right.
Like at least you're not like, I don't like blacks, but
right. At least You're at least you're like, okay, how about David Duke Day instead? You know what I mean? It's like we want the day. Right. They're like no day.
Yeah, they're just like no, it's fine.
Yeah. Walmart's open. I'm open.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Respect.
That's fun. That's what I've been doing.
That's great.
Just trying to be relatable to people.
You still doing your physical therapy stuff?
Oh no.
What do you do?
Oh, I work for a hedge fund now.
What?
Yeah. It's not a hedge fund. I just say it's a hedge fund because it's easier to explain than what it actually is. But yeah, that's my company vest over there. I got a vest. I took 3 vests when I joined. I was like, yeah, I'm taking these. Never even worn it.
I can't wait for the economy to tank and for you guys all to be on the street.
No, that's the thing. I help hedge funds find experts in fields they want to invest into. So we don't invest the money. It's all on them. They pay us to help find people.
Anybody.
Shout out Tommy O'Regan, got me the job.
Anybody who gets a vest day one, I
got 3 vests.
The guillotine is coming for you.
Yeah, it's so sick though.
I can't wait until I'm going to make you, when the revolution comes, I'm going to make you wear the vest when we chop off all of your heads, just like one by one in the streets.
You can't afford a knife.
I'm not going to be you don't think that the guillotine factory is going to be working overtime, baby?
The guillotine factory?
But
Wouldn't that be funny
All
if
of
the
you-
corporatist guillotine factory is the
Yeah.
one that's killing all the corporates?
And that's going to be the test. Like, do you own a vest? And if you don't, congratulations, you live. You with 3 vests, you're done, dude.
Nah, I think they're like, this guy's onto something. Why does everyone have 1 vest? This guy has 3. Everyone's playing checkers. This guy's playing chess over here with 3 vests.
It's like I'm looking at this. Is it a sweat wicking vest?
It's a Patagon. It's a Gone.
Vests
Pretty
are
good.
such a it's a crazy fashion choice. The vest,
It's just not useful.
right? And it's 99% of the time it categorizes you in a way that is bad. It makes you look like a bad person.
Right.
Yeah.
No one's worn a vest and then said, you know what? I'm going to go to the soup kitchen today.
Right. Everybody who's like, even if you weren't even born in this country, like if you are wearing a vest, like your great grandfather would have owned slaves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like even if you're against it now, you're wearing a vest. Like it's in your lineage. I don't care where you're from. You could be, but you would have. It's just like you're right because it is useless.
It's completely useless. It's not functional.
It's not functional.
I've never been in any sort of climate where I said, fuck,
yeah.
my arms are fine,
Yeah.
but my torso is freezing.
Right.
If only there was some sort of apparel
Yeah.
that catered to this problem.
You know what is a sick look though is vest, no shirt, just vest.
Yeah, that's because you're garbage.
No, that's sick. That's the way to wear a vest.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. That's the only cool way. It is. I'm right.
First of all, I've never even seen you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't own a vest
Well, yeah, because you're fucking.
because when the revolution comes, I'm going to be alive, baby. You motherfuckers.
Here's the thing, though. When the revolution comes, everyone with guns owns a vest.
No.
Hunters own vests. Vests
Really?
are big because you keep shit.
But why wouldn't you just have like a nice like a flannel?
It's a flannel vest.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
But what why wouldn't you want a little bit of like a little bit of like on your arms? Wouldn't your arms get cold? You're out there hunting?
Well, I'm not a hunter. Don't ask me.
You just like very confidently said that all hunters own vests.
Yes, but I don't know. I'm not a hunter. I know they own vests.
No, I'm not talking about
We've
like
made many statements about many groups of people in the past hour. This is where you're going to start narrowing down on me?
I mean, I don't know that much about hunter. I don't even know if I've met a hunter in my life. That's my bubble.
Well, you grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some fucking killers.
Shut the fuck up. You went to India with a kid who grew up in Soho. You know no one. What high school did you go to?
Hunter. Public.
I don't know enough about that. I know Eric Newman went there.
Eric Newman went to Hunter?
I'm almost positive.
Hunter College High School?
Yeah.
I gotta meet this guy.
I think so. Talk to him, Jew.
Dude, that could be my in. Yo, Eric. Hunter Hawks, class of 2010. Where you at?
There he is.
I got some jokes. I got about 30 minutes of fire. Take me on the road. Introduce me at the cellar. If you know any agents, we went to the same high school, so
Maybe.
maybe you went to Hunter College, which honestly, it's a safety school, and
It's cheap.
it is cheap. It was my biggest mistake not going there.
Yeah, where'd you go?
I went to Bard and then
With the bar.
NYU, both private.
Wait,
extremely expensive.
You went to NYU?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know you played soccer at Bard.
yeah.
When'd you go to NYU?
I transferred from Bard. I hated Bard.
Where is Bard? Poughkeepsie?
Upstate? Yeah, outside Poughkeepsie, like 40 minutes. But yeah, so the reason that I was able to go to Bard, are we going way long? We can cut it. We can just
We're going
stop.
long, but we poured the beers, so.
True.
We'll finish off on this Bard thing.
Okay. Was because when I was 13, I hit my head on my school scaffolding. I fell off my school scaffolding and hit my head, and
okay.
My parents couldn't afford, like, I had to get brain surgery, and
this explains a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I really wonder, because you know it's hard to get into Hunter. Hunter's like a good school, and like I'd gotten
Hunter High School,
Hunter College High School. You have to take a test and shit, you know.
Yeah.
And so I got in there, and then it was 7th grade, dude. Spring of 7th grade, and I got fucking rocked. Got brain surgery.
Academically. Oh no, the brain surgery was that year.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
Then after, for sure. I mean, I was out of school for a month, and like at Hunter, like I came back and I was like, I don't know what anybody's talking about, and like I just didn't. I was like, wasn't gonna like study enough to like get back on track. So right. I'm just gonna fail.
I'm just gonna fucking coast here.
Yeah, it's actually incredibly easy to get a C.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
it's average.
I was like, no, but C's are bad.
They're not great.
B's are average.
Sure.
C's are bad.
Okay.
Anyway, I get so my parents can't afford all the medical shit, and because I burst a blood clot in my brain. I'm bleeding out in my brain.
Okay.
They lose my vitals in the ambulance. I'm like close to death. So they take me to the hospital. They open up my skull. They take out this blood clot the size of a hockey puck. Saved my life. And my parents sued the construction company that should have secured the scaffolding around my high school. And they won like a bunch of money, and that is why I got to go to private school. But
it's a private school?
Bard.
Oh, Bard. Gotcha.
But had I gone to fucking, if you go to Hunter, you get into Macaulay Honors, which is like the honor school at City College, for like no questions asked. Like it's a hard school to get into, and if you go to Hunter, you just get to go. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I 1000% should have done that, and just like pocketed fucking $200,000. Like I'm a fucking idiot, dude.
Well, yeah.
I could have bought fucking Bitcoin. I could own everything right now.
Yeah, but you're you. So no.
Yeah, I know. Well,
you know?
I would have done something so fucking stupid.
Right, you would have done something fucking ridiculous.
You'd given me like fucking $2 million. I had to like.
You would have rented out one of these vacant bars over here and be like, no, I'm going to run shows here every night.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Like, no, Elliot, maybe don't do that. You're like, no, right?
Dude.
I didn't go to Bard for this.
$2 million. If you'd give.
Wait, what's your degree in from NYU?
Spanish.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
I've known you for 5 years. Nothing you said tonight, I've known. Usually people bring up stuff like, oh, yeah, I know that and that.
Yeah,
not a single thing you said I knew.
Dude,
why don't you talk about any of this?
I don't think it's interesting.
It's extremely interesting.
I really don't think. I mean, like, I lived in Latin America for 8 months before I went to Bard, and then so then when I went to Bard, I was like, I'm gonna be a Spanish guy. No?
I'm gonna be a Spanish guy.
Learn Spanish.
You're like 6'2".
Studies.
You
Latin
can't
American.
be a Spanish guy.
I could be their king.
Yeah. No, they call you a conquistador down there. Yeah. They think you're taking over again. You're like, fuck.
But they're also like, he might be with Christ. I mean, that's what the conquistadors. They brought Christ. They saved them. The conquistadors, they saved them, or else they're all damned.
That's how we're gonna end. Elliot defending conquistadors.
It's been real. Happy hour. Cheers, brother. First beers in the happy hour.
First beers in the happy hour. Episode 57.
I think you gotta keep up this tradition, man. People get some of these squares loosened up. You know.
Well, I usually have Hardy on now.
Oh sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Can't drink.
Yeah. He doesn't drink, huh?
Yeah, he has a real problem with it.
Oh, interesting.
Due to the substantial debt that he's in and his life choices he made during that period of time.
Sure.
So.
Okay. Well.
He'll be on next week.
All right. Tune back in to the Happy Hour. Do you have a name for your fans?
Yeah, gays. Deuces.
All right.